partner, and welcome to episode 180 of Gracefully and Frankly. I'm Erin Davis.
I'm Lisa Brandt, and how are you doing this week?
Really, really good. Here we are almost at the midpoint of June. It's hard to believe. And, before we really get into this, I heard a new knock-knock joke. I mean, when's the last time you heard a new knock-knock joke?
It's been a long time.
Okay. This one. I really like this one. Okay. All right. I just want to know if it works on you like on a podcast or if it has to be kind of face-to-face. But, you know, you can go ahead and try this at home. All right. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Control freak. Okay, now this is where you say control freak who?
Yes, it works. Yes, it works.
Is it a little too close to home for me or what?
I love it. No, that's a good one.
And you know what? This episode, as it turns out, while we were very carefully putting it together, it kind of is focusing a lot on shopping and the way that it all comes together, whether you're thrifting or groceries or whatever it is. But, you know, in the midst of doing all of this research that we do for each week's show, whether or not that is evident, I came across not just a knock-knock joke, but a saying here. If I say to you, complete the quote, Lisa, the customer is
always right.
Exactly. The customer is always right. Well, it turns out that's not the saying. The saying is the customer is always right in matters of taste. So it's not like you can just go into a store and be awful, which you would never do, but some people do, and assume that you're right because the customer's always right. No, it was the founder of Selfridges, pioneer Harry Gordon Selfridge, who came up with the saying, the customer is always right in matters of taste. So if they want to wear those horizontal stripes or if they want to put checkers with dots or whatever, let them do it. They're the customer. And if it's their taste, they're right.
Wow. I mean, you're selling it. You expect somebody to buy it, right? Selfridges is an amazing department store in England, and I just loved it. I would have loved to come back with a whole bunch of stuff in my taste, whatever that is.
But you did bring back something that you definitely can't return from Selfridges.
Oh, yes. I wanted to look at dresses, and my husband, Derek, said, look, they do tattoos. So we got matching tattoos in a tattoo shop in Selfridges.
Of what, like a UPC code, or what did you do?
Yes, if you scan me, I'm 20% off. No, just a little symbol that it's almost like a Celtic symbol, but not really. But I'll tell you, though, the tattoo artist had a really bent, dark sense of humor because he did mine first. And then he said, well, you know what this means, right? And I said, no. And he said, white supremacy. And I went, oh, no. And he goes, I'm kidding you. It's like, oh, my goodness, that's not funny.
You should have turned it around on him and gone, good, that's what I'm going for.
Holy no. Yeah, he got me.
Yeah, I think having tattoos in the store was also Harry Gordon Selfridge's idea. I don't know that for sure, but I may have read it on the internet.
That's right. Right under the quote from Abraham Lincoln about what you'll find online. Yeah.
Exactly true. Well, a lot of stuff has been making waves, some of it big, some of it not so big, but frozen juice, as you're sitting there sweltering in Port Stanley today, and of course we're recording this on Wednesday to drop on June 11th today. But what did you say? It feels like 38 or something?
Yeah, it's really muggy, and it's going to stay that way for a couple days. So Lisa's indoorsy. Yes.
What a nice day to have a nice frozen concentrate juice. So let's scoop this out of the can and get to the latest on this, because there has been a development. And, you know, big and small, we're on top of it all.
That's right. So Minute Maid shut up shop, and so did the other one, Old South, on frozen orange juice. Apparently it's 7% of the orange juice market, and I guess that's big enough to go after. So now Loblaws is going to have its own no-name frozen juice concentrate in its stores. So you can get that sound when you slide the concentrate out before you put the water in.
That always seemed to take forever, but I learned as I aged that if you use a can punch in the end, in the bottom, like after you've turned it over, then the air lets it all skloop out all the much faster. But
There you
there
go.
is a catch to all of this, isn't there?
Yeah, they don't say where it's from. So the ones that are not on the market anymore were Canadian,
Mm-hmm.
and at least they had manufacturing in Canada. But No Name from Loblaws frozen juice could be from anywhere and is probably likely maybe from Brazil or from the U.S. And if we're avoiding things from the U.S. and it doesn't say on it where it's from, that could be problematic.
Yeah, it could. I wonder why they wouldn't say where it's from. That makes you suspicious, right? Especially where
Yes.
Galen Weston is concerned. Not very transparent.
No, not at all.
But you did a fascinating blog this week, which you can find at our Gracefully and Frankly Facebook page. Lisa blogs twice a week, and I blog weekly because you just try harder.
Number 2 always has to try harder, honey.
Okay, so you were really kind of examining the whole grocery shopping thing. I have to tell you, Lisa, you could hear my squee for blocks when I actually found Canadian BC grown romaine a couple of days ago. Oh my gosh, I have missed romaine so much.
Yeah, we have Quebec romaine that comes here, but everywhere I went this week, they didn't have it. There was leaf lettuce and that butter lettuce and romaine, and all of it was from the U.S.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So what are we learning about your grocery shopping, especially your cauliflower addiction? Are you getting Canadian cauliflower yet?
There's no Canadian cauliflower yet. That's the one thing that I will unapologetically buy from wherever it's from. Usually it's Mexico. Sometimes it's from the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
I do make a sour face at it as I pick it up, and I think that says a lot.
Yes. Oh, yes. Cauliflower are notoriously sensitive.
They are very sensitive, and I'm about to take a knife to them anyway, so it's very upsetting. But no, none of that. I was really surprised well, not surprised. I mean, it's obvious that meat prices have gone way up, but beef ribeyes, for example, up almost $10 per 100 kilograms this year. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's unbelievably expensive. We'll just be browsing the meat section and think, wow, these are like keg prices, but they come with a potato and a salad, you know?
Yes, exactly. And somebody to bring it to you.
Yeah.
It looks like we're going to get cherries from the west this year in Ontario, too, because all of the blossoms died. We had a couple of frosts, so there are no local cherries this year. So that's probably going to mean more expensive because they're coming in. And somebody made a really good point on my blog that I think it was Claire. She said that when we get the local ones next year, will the prices come down? It's like, no, it never really works that way, does it? They never seem to come back down.
No, well, thank goodness for that check that came for a lot of families who really needed it last week. And you and I didn't qualify, but because this is who we are, and hopefully most Canadians, we don't begrudge the ones who do.
Not at all. In fact, in my blog post, and somebody else, I think it was Claire, agreed with me that if we could pay more for something and know that it was offsetting the cost of infant formula, which is way up, I mean, I would happily pay more if that would help somebody. You know, it's not right that feeding babies costs so much more than it used to.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And as you and I have discussed, because of our personal connection with our daughter who was taking drugs to help her to breastfeed because she simply couldn't, and it is that drug that we believe caused her death, and it is called domperidone. Fed is best. And if it has to be formula, it has to be formula. But oh my God, so prohibitively expensive. Oh, our hearts go out to everybody in this situation for sure. One solution that a lot of people are turning to when it comes to shopping now, obviously not for groceries, but
Theft. No.
theft. No.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. I was thinking of something that sounds like that. Thrift.
Right. Thrifting is, for a long time, depending on the age of the person, you'd get someone looking down their nose at you if you said you'd gone thrifting. But now apparently it's really caught on with teenagers because part of it is just the economy, stupid. But the other part of it is they're turning their back on fast fashion once they learn how much water is used on some of this clothing that doesn't last and the cheapness of it.
It just doesn't last for the most part. It's disposable. And I think if you've ever been on Netflix and seen the documentary Buy Now, The Shopping Conspiracy.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about fast fashion and disposing of everything, even products like Apple, where there's a guy who has figured out how to fix Apple products rather than have them end up in a landfill site, and Apple has come after him, but he has prevailed. So look for that documentary, and we will attempt to make a note in the show notes of it. Back to thrifting. I have a niece who's just now into her 20s. Those are the only clothes she buys, and she kind of takes pride in her, vintage schlumpy look because it's just a look and she likes it and good for her. So there's a lot of people who, because it's affordable and because it's a style that they like too, they're not going to be slaves to fashion.
Right. We all know that a lot of people get rid of stuff when it's in really great shape. And you can get a really fantastic deal like on a jacket or a pair of boots or whatever that somebody's just gotten tired of. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. I love it. I don't exclusively thrift, but it certainly is better to get a pair of Levi's from 15 years ago that you know are going to outlast you than some crummy thin pant that's going to be out of style in a week and a half.
Yeah, and loses all its dye in the first wash.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be just jeans. It can be so many great labels too. I remember my husband Rob, we were thrifting back when we used to go to the States. He found a Brooks Brothers blazer that was like it was made for him, and he still wears it. And I figure, it probably came out of some guy's estate after his wife cleaned out the closet, and we're okay with that if, if there aren't bullet holes in it or something, which is always possible. Or there may be. No, I mean, if it looks new and feels good, why not?
Yeah.
And your Derek had a similar experience.
With a tux, he got an Armani tux that fits him like a glove. Yes. We could not believe it. We thought we were seeing things. And I think it cost him $30 or $40. And it's like it's brand new. And he's worn it several times several times, a few times to.
Wow.
He wears it on the motorcycle. It's quite a look. No, we've worn it to a couple of different events and things like that. So that was pretty cool. But another thing these kids are loving about thrifting is even when things don't look new, that's also a plus because it looks like they've had them all along. Yeah. It's not something they've just incorporated. And I mean, we used to get a kick out of, I don't know if you were like this, but in high school or whatever, you'd wear your crunchy corduroys the first day back to school or whatever. And everything was new and crisp and fresh and all that kind of stuff. And now that's not so cool anymore.
No, it's not. You're not supposed to look like you just came out of the old Sears catalog. Those corduroys.
Right.
That unmistakable sound as you shweet, shweet, shweet your way down the hallway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those thighs rubbing together were something. That's for sure.
Oh, they were. Yeah. Well, we kept them together. But anyhow. But enough about me. Okay. Something else that is going on with thrifting right now, and it's big. In fact, our daughter-in-law, she has a side hustle or a full-time hustle. And it's going to thrift stores 2-3 times a week, all in the Ottawa area. So there are a lot from which to choose and picking up things because she knows exactly what she's looking for. She knows what there's a market for. And then cleaning them up, marketing them, and selling them online. And then somebody will come to her front door. They leave money in a bolted money box on their house. There's a camera right there. There's no face-to-face interaction. You pay for it, you pick it up, you go. And it's so working out for her.
Oh, that's wonderful. There's this influencer that the young people really like, Aaron, the young folk, called Gary V. And he says, if I was a young person right now wanting to make money, that's exactly what he would do, what Brooke is doing. He's been promoting this for a while, that it's a smart thing to do because a lot of people don't know what they've got.
Yep.
But a lot of people do as well. But that's not her market.
No. Okay, here's what's funny. I remember, 30 years ago when we had our first and second cottages, I was just going to do them up so cottage cute. And I had the wallpaper border with chickens and nests. And then our first house, it was a wallpaper with blue and white ducks. So we had the duck, butter dish and the duck this and the duck that. And so all of that farm girl chic stuff is all back in because guess what? For people who are our children's age, that's nostalgia now.
Right.
Isn't that wild?
Wow. Who knew? I never would have ducking imagined.
No, I wouldn't have ducking imagined either. So that's nostalgia for them. So they're buying it. Carnival glass is huge.
Oh, yeah.
She looks for those red and white check Better Homes and Gardens cookbooks. Those are big. I have 3 of them now. My mother's, which is just in terrible shape and all taped back together in yellow pages and batter on all the pages and stuff because it was used. But then one from my sister and yet another one. So I've got my own little collection, but they all look like hell. But yeah, those are big.
Right.
And the thing is, Lisa, is knowing what you're looking for. And what she and a lot of sort of quote unquote professional thrifters will do is they'll go in and they'll go on a Google search and say, okay, what will this sell for? What is this worth?
Yeah, exactly.
So then they know if they're picking up cash or trash.
Well, I do the same thing for the vintage markets that we're in. I mean, you have to do your research before you turn around. Otherwise, imagine if she priced something at $10 and found out later it was worth $125 or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
And some people do that just to get rid of it.
Sure.
I mean, those of us on Facebook Marketplace, you want to get rid of something, you price it low. That's fine. But if it's your living, now here's the catch. There are people in the thrift stores, those who volunteer or work for them, who are wise to this. So they're starting to price them according to what the market will bear.
Oh. So then there's nothing to be made. That's no good.
Yeah, but Brooke's on the lookout for hens on nests. That's what she's looking for, too. And, she also bought 2 Tiffany-style lampshades like that hang from the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
She saw them come out on the cart, and she and her husband were right on them before they were even put on the shelf. Brought them home, and then when Rob, my husband, who is a notorious handyman, came to look at them, well, one of them was missing its socket entirely, and the other one needed some work. So the people who gave these away, they may have known that they were trash, or they may have just thought, well, somebody will like the shades. But fortunately, if you know what you're doing, you can also make these things work for you, too.
Absolutely. And a lot of people aren't willing or don't know how to do that little bit of work. And somebody like Rob or Derek, to them, it's no big deal whatsoever. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, it is. Love thrift stories. If you've got a thrift find or you've got something that happened to you shopping that really kind of made your day, you can go ahead and leave us a voicemail. Go to gracefullyandfrankly.com, scroll down, there's a microphone at the bottom right, and leave us a voicemail. I found a coat just before we left for Ottawa because it wasn't really humid like you've got right now, and Ottawa can get really muggy. It is this week, but it wasn't last week, sitting and watching the kids playing baseball, and I found this coat at Winners. It was Land's End, which is an American company, and it's beautiful stuff. Their sheets, their coats, everything. $198. I got it for $34. I couldn't believe it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Brand new, pockets with sides that you can go into, because when you get something and somebody says that's great, you have to A, tell them it's on sale, and B, say it has pockets. So
it's the law.
Especially dresses. Yeah. So that was my big take of the week. And yeah, I sure did use it in Ottawa. So I like that even just as much as thrifting, is just finding that perfect thing just for you. That's a fantastic price.
If it makes your eyes light up every time you use it, that's when you know you got a good one.
A lot of stuff you see that's being sold or just put up on Facebook Marketplace or whatever is crystal. I wonder if the younger people are getting into crystal at all. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I follow a lot of thrifters on Instagram, and I don't really see them doing anything with crystal, but who knows?
It seems like it's too much work. For
Yes.
example, did you know you're not supposed to put lead crystal into the dishwasher?
Aaron, I have to tell you, it never would have crossed my mind to put it in the dishwasher. Not even a bit.
Oh my gosh. So we get home from our trip to Ottawa, and our wonderful neighbor Kath, who used one of our fridges. Well, they sound like we've got 4 of them. We have a big one in the pantry that's just for overflow. So she used our fridge to put some desserts in, and she left us 2 of them, a beautiful chocolate mousse. And so she texted and said, there's some treats for you in the fridge. And lo and behold, there were. So we ate them. It was wonderful. And I put the little cups into the dishwasher, and then the next morning take them out. And they're as cloudy as Lake Erie at 5 a.m. It's just, oh God. So I go on the internet and I go, what do you do with cloudy lead crystal? And one of the hacks is to put it in warm water mixed with white vinegar. Okay, so I soaked it, I turned them, I dried them. No, still cloudy. So we decide to fess up to our neighbor, and Rob tells our neighbor, he says, oh, by the way, and he took the hit for this. He said, I put the lead crystal in the dishwasher, meaning him. And he said, I hope it didn't have any sentimental value. And the husband goes, oh, no, I got it from an aunt. Oh, great. That's not sentimental value. But anyway, so then I run into Kath, the woman who made the desserts, and I said, Kath, I'm so sorry about those. And she goes, oh, don't worry about it. They were cloudy to start with.
Oh, jeez.
Thanks a lot.
Couldn't tell when they had remnants of mousse in them, right?
No. Oh, God. So
That's
I
funny.
was off the hook there. Yeah. Something you don't want to buy used is pillowcases. Or pillowcases, both. You want to get them new, and you want to buy good ones, because that's what's up against your face all night. And not just helping you to sleep better, but also doing good things for your skin, like Envy Pillows. Beautiful, beautiful pillowcases.
Yeah, not all silk is created equal, you know. Their silk is not just soft, but it's actually good for your skin. The copper infusion is excellent for killing microbes. You know, not the way you kill a cauliflower with a knife or anything, but it happens subtly while you're sleeping and you don't even notice it's going on, and it's much better for you. A great pillowcase can make all the difference. If you want a great pillow as well, check them out at Envy Pillow. They have other wonderful items as well with the copper infusion and with their great integrity and sustainable practices. envypillow.com, ENVY pillow.com. Use the code GF for 10% off your purchase.
Well, you had a lovely weekend taking in your granddaughter's dance recital. Sometimes when you go and watch kids perform, it can be a little torturous once yours is done or waiting for yours.
Yeah.
But tell us about this.
I guess because I've never gone to one before. She just got into dance. She was in it for a while and then sort of didn't want to do it anymore, and now she's all about it. And people often wonder how I got a grandchild, 2 grandchildren with no children. My little sister, Tabitha, it's her kids, and they call me Grandma. And anyway, it was amazing. So Vienna was in the first half. This was like a 3-hour recital, and they had 3 of them for this one school. And it was at the Sanderson Center in Brantford. Vienna was in the first half. She had 2 dances. And then we had to sit through the second half because everybody got their 2026 medal at the end. And she really wanted me to stay to see her get her medal. And I said, absolutely. So we watched all the kids. And I mean, it's really cute. You know, the little tiny ones are cute, and the ones that are graduating are amazing. And so it was kind of cool. Although I must say Vienna's brother Riker was getting pretty bored. He was not too happy.
Was he allowed to bring a device or do anything in the meantime while the dance recital was on?
No, he held the flowers that Vienna was getting at the end, but no, he wasn't. And he was just tired and he was hungry, and it was just enough already. It was a long day.
Oh, I'm really glad you got to do that. That's one of those special moments for someone who loves a little one. And you don't have to qualify, you know, if she is or isn't your granddaughter, because to the whole world, she is, right?
Yeah.
And it's all because of the Big Sisters, Little Sisters program. It's so worthwhile.
It really is, and that's why I like to mention it, because it's amazing that we are still chosen family all this many years later. But Vienna invited me. She was so cool. I mean, how do you not go? I wanted to go, plus I wanted to see her, and it's such an expensive thing, dance, in time and in money. And I've learned a lot about the costume swaps they have and all these other things to make it a little more affordable. But it builds their confidence. It does so much for them.
It's so wonderful to see kids who are able to go to these things and all the fundraising that must take place as well to be able to take part in things that hopefully they'll remember forever.
I think they will. It's pretty exciting.
Oh, that's great. Part of the joy of watching these little ones, whether it's us watching our grandkids sliding and running and doing all those things in baseball, is just admiring how well everything works at that age if you are fortunate enough to have an able body. And Sierra Sil reminds us that our knees are so important. I was remembering, Lisa, when I was on CHFI way back in the day, and I used to talk about Sierra Sil. Even then, I got an email from a guy who was waiting for knee surgery. He started taking these capsules and was even reconsidering the surgery because it worked so well eliminating pain and inflammation, because it does build cartilage, that precious cartilage that kids have, and they don't even know to appreciate it.
They take it for granted.
Yeah, but you have to try it to believe it. Please do. And if you don't notice a difference in your pain management within 14 days, you get your money back. Really.
Visit them at sierrasil.com. Sierra, like the mountains, SIL.com. Your code GF will get you 14% off your purchase.
You know what? Now boarding. It's time for This Week in Totally Stupid or... Twits! Oh my gosh, this story has swept the world. I was reading about it on Tuesday on BBC, if you can imagine.
The Air Canada pilot who was a pilot but wasn't supposed to be captaining big planes.
Yeah, and a lot of people are comparing it to the Spielberg movie Catch Me If You Can, except this guy actually was licensed pilot, but not a licensed captain. And apparently that's a big difference.
It is. Apparently you need to be a captain in order to fly those giant planes long distances. And he never became one. And so they're calling it fraud. And the guy's even retired now. And they're going after him for this. But you kind of have to wonder how this never really, I mean, he had papers that were fraudulent, but I looked into what it takes to become a captain, and it's like up to $150,000 and all this training that you have to take.
Yeah, he is facing several fraud-related charges. Now, apparently over 27 years, 59-year-old Jeffrey Wall from Barrie, Ontario, flew over 900 domestic and international flights. And the thing was, he had forged those initial documents, and then Air Canada's saying, wait, passenger safety was never at risk. All pilots undergo competency training every 6 months, but they are going after this because police are likening it to a doctor that's licensed to practice family medicine but is doing brain surgery in their office, like Dr. Spachemin on 30 Rock.
Right. Obviously, he was capable because he flew all those flights. I mean, you and I could have been on one of his flights. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're really not supposed to do that.
Oh, yeah.
So it went for years and years undetected because he was a good fraudster, apparently.
Oh, my God. If he had ever committed pilot error and there had been a loss of life or anything like that, Air Canada, holy, maybe they're the twits. Let's lay it where it belongs.
That's another reason to go after him, I guess, too, is that you put us at such risk, even though nothing happened.
Yeah.
You know, you need to pay for this because we look stupid.
Yes, they do. They get to be the twits, a whole plane load of twits at Air Canada. All right. Well, I have to tell you, I am so glad to get this episode under our belts, Lisa Brandt, because last night, Tuesday night, our power went off for 3 entire hours. Now, I was told power goes off on Pender, and we're like, wee, that's great. We went up to the bedroom with just a candle, and you know what happens in the bedroom with just a candle, with two loving adults. We made little shadow puppets on the wall.
Oh, my goodness.
I did. I made a little bird, and Rob used his pinky, and I was the bird chasing the worm. And that's not a euphemism for anything. No.
I'm so glad it was his pinky. That's all I'm grateful for.
Me too. I am so glad every day in every possible way. Okay. But here's the challenge. I thought, okay, we can record this. We have the battery power. Lisa and I will be able to do this. I'll hook it up to my phone for Wi-Fi. It's going to be fine. Everything will be fine. But I need my caffeine before we record the show. So here's the problem, Lisa. We have all these coffee makers. We have the big machine on the counter. We have an espresso. I even have a French press, and I could have boiled water on the barbecue. But we only have beans. I've got all this coffee, all these beans, and no way to grind them.
Oh, so the power came back though, right?
Yes, it did. Just when our puppet show ended.
So are you going to get one of those hand grinders or whatever? Steal it from a monkey somewhere or whatever?
Thrift store. Thrift store.
There are thrift stores. Of course.
Or we'll have some ground beans ready in case of emergency. So there you go. Lesson learned.
Oh, that would have been a disaster.
This would have been a much slower episode. You have a great weekend, my friend. So glad to be caffeinated and talking with you.
Oh, and you as well. And always, we will be back here for what? Episode 181 next week.
We hope.